Oh, that's a beast. If you're an artist in New York City, you have my utmost respect because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard being an artist in general, but like New York City is its own like beast. Like you know, you gotta do the work. It's expensive to like record in some studios, and that's just because it's the nature of the business. You gotta have your chops. You gotta have some musical chops. You can't, just come in thinking like, oh yeah, this is like my hobby. So it's like, no, like these are people like this is their bread and butter. This is how they make a living. And so you coming in like, oh, I think I'm gonna play a couple of songs, or I haven't practiced, but I'm just gonna wing it. It's like, no, like you gotta come correct. So it's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of hustle. Everybody's doing multiple things like, oh yeah, I may work at this diner, but I'm like doing this open mic later on tonight, or I work at this certain like company or whatever, like they got their 9 to 5 or 2 9 to 5s, multiple jobs, and they just make it work. So it's hustle. Definitely hustle is the theme of a New York artist. So my name is Ty McKinnie. I'm a singer-songwriter from Atlanta, Georgia, but here in New York City. And I write music, but I also dabble into acting, videography, just not getting into producing music, so that's it. But yeah, so all around Renaissance man. I see someone that I don't recognize. I see someone that I truly despise. I see someone who's lived his life on lies. Will he find his truth in time? I see someone who lives in his father's shame. I see someone who lives in so much pain. I see someone whose heart can't catch a break. Will he find himself? Will he find himself? I think people should care about my work just because of my perspective. I think, specifically being a black queer man, there's not a lot of our perspective being the mainstream. I mean, thank God for Frank Ocean, and there was many more before Frank, but they just weren't out. But that sort of perspective and that voice, specifically for black LGBT people, has been very small. They're out there, but they're not focused on, they're not highlighted. It's just like we're in like the back corner. But I feel like those stories need to be heard because that's a big part of just our history, especially within the black community. It's like we're all the same. So you need to hear the story. You need to hear our pain too, our struggles and whatnot. And they're just valid. I think everybody's voice is valid. And a lot of people's voices aren't heard. It's very important that we have these stories be told because I feel like minorities in general are kind of like a target, like a huge target now, because there's been a side that's been sort of radicalized by the election and Trump's presidency, and they feel very bold to kind of like take power back because they feel like their power was in question, like they didn't have it. And now they're like, yeah, we got it, so we can take over. And it's more important for people who just feel marginalized or just oppressed to make their voices be heard, because there is a huge wave of just trying to snuff those voices out in all mediums: music, entertainment, politics. Like literally they're trying to do whatever Obama did. So it's just very important for just to hear those stories.